Okay, so what we're doing here, we're trying to replace a screen cable for a MacBook Air 13-inch 2013 model. You need the thin paper like this, something thin, very strong, to make an opening where the actual bezel is. So just be careful on the screen, don't put too much pressure on the screen, just to make a bit of an opening. Once you make an opening, then I'll show you the next step to do to be able to cut this double-side tape easier. Don't even put your fingerprints here, you can clean up later. Just don't put too much pressure on the screen, otherwise you break it. We have a burnt screen cable here, so. Okay, now that you've made a bit of an opening, just use a thinner one. Much thinner one than that, so you can make an opening here to put it through. Try to put it through the actual bezel so we can get it from the other side. If not, let's go back to this one. See how I'm bringing it through the bottom of the bezel? And then you get the thin one. To bring it through as well, bring the thin one through, then remove this one. And now you can cut very easily. Now you just make sure don't pull too much at the top, just very gently so you don't bend the bezel. If you bend the bezel, it's not going to stick properly. On these two corners here, the cable for the screen is here, so you have to be careful. You have to be careful on how you cut very softly. Keep cutting away. Just gonna keep cutting. This one you can use a very thin plastic playing cards as well. That will work. As you get to this corner here, because you can cut the rubber from the side, try to move it on an angle and cut it on an angle. You cut on an angle, it will save the rubber. Sometimes if you cut the rubber, there's nothing much you can do because the rubber is very dry. Just keep it on an angle like this, it'll be good. Unless you don't want fingerprints, use gloves. Okay. Just take it very slowly, just so you don't bend the bezel. You bend it, it's going to look very bad. It won't stick properly. The more straighter, the better. To get another one of that one. See how I'm cutting on an angle, so it does not break the rubber, doesn't cut the rubber. If you cut like that, sometimes you can cut the rubber. It's better to cut on an angle. As we get here, we just go back in the middle and go the other way. Just make sure this one does not raise up the bezel. Just keep some force down on the bezel, just not too much, and just keep cutting very softly. You go very slow here. Remember, like I said, there's a cable here for the screen. You have to be careful. You can cut on the angle too. Okay, that should be out now. Don't pull it out, just go over with the paper that you use, or cutting card, whatever you use. It should just come right out. So after you change the screen cable, you have the sticky tape here. You need to clean that up. I'll show you later before we finish the video. I can show you what you use to clean that up.